Hello, this is Jo from Maths Tutor Me. Today we're doing our final lesson for simultaneous equations and we are going to do some problem solving. So in my previous lessons we have learnt one at a time the three methods that you can use to solve simultaneous equations. Now to be honest, the graphical method, unless you're asked to do it, is not the best method to use because it's not as accurate as the other methods, but it is very important to know because sometimes you do get asked to use that specific method. So most of the time you will be using the substitution or the elimination method. Okay, so you've learnt how to do each of those methods, we've practiced those. Now we want to apply them to some problem solving questions, some more practical questions. Okay, so you can use either method. Sometimes one method will be better or easier to use than another, so it is important that you know both methods well. So let's have a look at this first question here. Amy received a better result in her math test than her English test. If the sum of her 2 marks is 164 and the difference is 18, find the mark for each subject. Okay, so we're going to introduce our own pronumerals here. Okay, so the math test we're going to call M, and the English test we're going to call E for English. Makes sense? M for maths, E for English. Now, we need to try and make 2 equations out of this. So, the first bit of information that it gives us is that Amy received a better result in her maths test than her English test. Okay, that's important. Next, if the sum of her 2 marks is 164. So if I add her 2 marks together, maths plus English is equal to 164. Okay, and then it also says, and the difference means subtract, the difference is 18. Now we were told that the maths was the better result, so we would need to do maths minus English is equal to 18. Okay, so we've found our 2 equations. Now we can solve them to find her mark for each subject. So the way this is set up, you could rearrange it to do a substitution method if you wanted to, but it's ready to go right now to do an elimination method. So the M's are the same, the E's are actually the same too. So I might eliminate the E's because that will leave me with some nice positive numbers here. So I will do an addition and that will cancel out those E's there. M plus M is 2M. E plus minus E cancels out, that's what we wanted. And it's 164 plus 18. Alright, it's always good to have a calculator handy. 164 plus 18 equals 182. Okay, then to get the M by itself, we divide the 2. Okay, so we divide that number by 2, and her maths mark was 91. Alright, then we still need to find her English score, so let's substitute back into the top equation. Her maths mark was 91, so 91 plus her English mark is equal to 164. If I subtract away the 91, I will find out what her English is. So 164 minus 91 is 73. Okay, now for these types of questions, it is best if you give a wordy solution to your wordy question. Okay, so the maths, the M, and the E were symbols that we introduced to represent the maths and the English. Okay, which is why it is best if at the end you just say, therefore, her math mark was 91 and her English mark was 73. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. If you have a wordy question, give a wordy answer, please. Okay, let's have a look at question 2. Yummy Catering charges a fixed cost plus a cost per person. If a party of 15 guests costs $507.50 and a party of 40 guests costs $820, find the fixed cost and the cost charged per person. Okay, so the fixed cost, there's a fixed cost that we'll call F, and there's a cost per person, which we'll call P. Okay, so we have two different booking, I guess, arrangements here. So the first one is you have 15 guests that cost $507.50. So for that booking, you would have to have a fixed cost, the fixed cost, plus you have 15 guests and you are going to be charged a cost per person. So it's 15 times the number of people plus the fixed cost is equal to $507.50. Okay, then we have 40 guests that cost $820. So again, we would have a fixed cost, but this time we would have 40 times the per person cost is equal to $820. Okay, we can choose elimination or substitution, but again, this one is probably best to do an elimination because we have F's the same here, and I could subtract them and they would cancel out. F minus F is nothing. 15p minus 40p, 15 minus 40 is minus 25p, and 507.5 minus 820 is minus 312.5. Okay, if I divide by the negative 25, that cancels that out. I find, let's divide that, divide by a negative 25, I get 12.5, which is actually $12.50. The cost per person is $12.50. I still need to find the fixed cost, so let's substitute into, let's use the second equation this time. The fixed cost plus 40 lots of $12.50 is equal to 820. Let's times those together. 40 times by my $12.50 is a nice $500. And then I just subtract the 500 to get F by itself. So 820 minus my 500 makes 320. And I'm finished. So let's write our wordy answer for our wordy question. The fixed price was $320 and the cost per person is $12.50. Alright, there it is. So now it is time for you to practice. Here is two more questions. Try to make your two equations and solve simultaneously, either using the substitution or the elimination. Give it a go and then restart the video to see the answers. Okay, in question 1, we have got a rectangle here. Now we know that a rectangle has opposite sides equal. So that would mean that 7x minus y would be equal to 26. And it would also mean that the 2x plus y is equal to 19. Okay, substitution or elimination, I'm going to do elimination again because I will add those equations for the y's to be eliminated. 7x plus 2x is 9x. Minus y plus y cancels out. And 26 plus 19 is 45. Okay, then to get rid of the 9 here, we're going to divide by 9. And we will find that x is equal to 5. Alright, then we still need to find the y value. So let's substitute that into, which one shall we choose? Let's choose the second one. So 2 times 5 plus y is equal to 19. 2 times 5 is 10, is equal to 19. And then subtract the 10, so we get that y is equal to 9. Now, this question says find the value of x and y. So I haven't introduced any pronumerals in this question, so I could probably get away with not writing my wordy answer. So I've run out of room here, so I'm just going to leave my answer like that. X is equal to 5 and y is equal to 9. Let's have a look at question 2. Anna has twice as much money as Ben. If I give Ben $2.50, he will have 3 times as much money as Amy. Oh dear, different name. How much does each originally have? We better make those the same name. This is meant to be Anna. Okay. Sorry about that little typo there. Okay. So he will have 3 times as much money as Anna. How much does each originally have? Okay, so we're going to call Anna A and we're going to call Ben B. Anna has twice as much money as Ben. Okay, so she has twice as much money. That means in order to make the two amounts equal, he would have to have 2 lots of whatever he starts with. So 2 lots of what Ben has is equal to what Amy has because she has twice as much. Okay, does that make sense? Because A is twice as big, you need 2 lots of B for it to be equal to an A. Okay, now if I give Ben $2.50, okay, so Ben, I'm going to give him $2.50. He now has 3 times as much money as Anna. So he has, this is 3 times as big as Anna's, so we would have to times Anna by 3 in order to make that equation balance. Okay, now I'm going to do a substitution in this question. So A is by itself, which means I can take what A